Good evening and welcome to Late Night Review. I'm Jack Overbeck.
And I'm Kate Salkowitz. And here are tonight's top stories.
Okanagan Specialty Fruits, a Canadian produce company, has invented a genetically modified Granny Smith apple that allegedly will not turn brown for 3 weeks. This will mark the first improvement made on Apple products since the iPhone 6.
On Friday, President Trump... That was harder than I thought. On Friday, President Trump signed an executive order severely restricting immigration from 7 Muslim countries and banning intake of refugees. The order led to massive protests at several airports across the country. So if you thought it wasn't possible for airport traffic to be worse, welcome to day 11 in Trump's America.
A 75-year-old woman in Marion County, Texas, has survived a wild ride in her bathtub after it was uprooted in a tornado. The woman is pictured here, shaken, standing next to the tub, clad in a Texas A&M sweatshirt. The takeaway here is that God hates Aggies.
A recent study has found that apparently dogs love reggae music. However, the results of the lab study are being criticized for using only one species of dog, Snoop.
Thousands of red Skittles were strewn across a Wisconsin highway earlier this month when the box on the back of the truck collapsed. The Skittles were allegedly on their way to be fed to cattle. Mars, the company that owns Skittles, says that they have no idea why the popular candy was on its way to the barnyard. There's no punchline here, it's just a series of absurd events. Last week, a truck driver in Indianapolis lost his trailer spilling 38,000 pounds of green marbles onto I-465. When asked where they were going, the driver answered suspiciously, definitely not to cattle, that's for sure.
In an interview with David Muir this week, Donald Trump boasted about the size of the crowd at his inauguration, calling it, quote, the biggest crowd in history. Said Muir, I haven't asked you a question yet.
General James Mad Dog Mattis was confirmed last Friday as the new United States Secretary of Defense. He pledged to help build alliances with other countries around the world because nothing says amity and reason better than a guy whose nickname is Mad Dog. But if the cabinet position doesn't work out for Mattis, he can always go back to his old job playing Leonard on the NBC sitcom Community.
Trump has been accusing the liberal media of spreading lies about his inauguration crowd, saying they framed the ceremony from unflattering angles to make it appear smaller compared to that of Barack Obama's. Ah, yes, that pesky liberal media employing one of its most devious tricks, photographic evidence. Also, I don't know, but I'm starting to recognize a pattern here with this guy and insecurity about size.
Yeah, like
His hands. We're talking about his hands.
The White House announced Thursday plans to possibly implement a 20% tax on all Mexican imports to the United States in order to help pay for the border wall. But for some of us, there's really only one thing grown in Mexico that matters, and Trump can't tax it.
Yet. The border tax, if implemented, would also raise the price of prime Mexican imports like avocados and tequila, said sorority girls everywhere. Wait, what?
Do you know how to be extra? In Normanhurst, Australia, 2,000 bottles of milk fell from a truck, causing massive traffic jams. It's rumored that the milk tastes suspiciously like red Skittles and marbles.
Trump's administration is coming under fire for its cabinet picks who have apparent conflicts of interest and lack of experience in their fields, such as Secretary of Education pick Betsy DeVos. Here to comment, Betsy DeVos.
Hello.
Now, Mrs. DeVos, taking on a job like Secretary of Education is a pretty big deal. Are you nervous in any way?
I have not.
Okay, so are you ready to oversee public education?
I have not.
Well, that's not really an answer.
I have not.
All right, moving right along. Mrs. DeVos, you've advocated for school vouchers allowing parents to use public funds to pay for private schools instead. Are you okay with less fortunate students falling behind for the sake of school choice?
Are you insinuating that I'm pro-choice? Because I do not agree with that. And I think that it's an issue best left to the Supreme Court.
Well, no, I'm kind of asking you about education, and none of that really answered my question.
Education is very important. I think about it, and parents should be able to send their kids wherever they would like to. If I want my child to learn that 2 + 2 = 5, then let me.
Okay, well, that's just completely wrong.
I think that's an issue best left to the states.
What is?
Whether guns should be in school or not.
Wait, are you suggesting that guns have a place in schools?
Well, I mean, how else are we we supposed to protect against grizzlies? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I have not.
Betsy DeVos, everybody! Woo! Tostitos this week came out with a new high-tech bag that will help keep drunk drivers off the road after Super Bowl parties. The bag allegedly can sense alcohol on somebody's breath and determine if they're too drunk to drive, and even call an Uber for them if they are. But I think it's safe to say that if you're turning to a bag of tortilla chips for advice, you're too drunk to drive.
Police in states where recreational marijuana has been legalized are having trouble developing a field sobriety test that will accurately determine if someone is too high to drive. So far, the most accurate gauge is to ask the driver for their papers, and if they hand you a joint, they're too high to drive.
The minute hand of the doomsday clock, which indicates how close the world's leading scientists think we are to destroying the planet, has moved forward to 2.5 minutes to midnight. Weird. According to my doomsday clock, theirs is running about 11 days behind on my watch that I have.
Sean Spicer's first conference as press secretary included 4 inaccurate claims in under 5 minutes. In alternative news, Sean Spicer's first conference as press secretary included pyrotechnics and a 980% decrease in unemployment in under 30 seconds. For Late Night Review, I'm Jack Overbeck.
And I'm Kate Zolkowitz. Good night.